are all GMOs. The pollen blows in, if the seed moves in, I am still held accountable.
When you genetically modify a crop, you own it. We've never had this in agriculture.
It used to be that your land-grant universities, they developed what was called public seed. The vast majority of the plant breeding was actually done in these public institutions.
Monsanto is very much like Microsoft. The same way Microsoft owns the intellectual property behind most computers in America, they set out to own the intellectual property behind most of the food in America.
Public plant breeding is a thing of the past. There virtually are no public seeds anymore.
No, like I said, there's only like 4 or 5 varieties that I can actually plant. Now, I have some of the last soybeans coming out of the state of Illinois.
The non-GMO, okay.
Plummet variety. But like I said, when it comes down to the point where I can't buy any more certified seed, what do I do? What are my options? I acquired this list that was mailed to me. The black list here is Monsanto's unauthorized grower list.
Wow.
Either farmers that have judgments against them or businesses, or else it's farmers that have not submitted their paperwork, will not turn over their records.
Wow.
And then for my case, that's why I'm on there, because I would not turn over my records.
Am I on this list?
Yes, you are.
Wow. I see 2 of my farmers that I work for are on here.
This list, now, it comes down to the point where I cannot buy Monsanto products, okay?
Right.
So it's coming down to what can I plant?
Monsanto is suing me on the basis that I'm encouraging the farmer to break the patent law by cleaning their own seed. I haven't been in a courtroom yet, and my bill is already $25,000. People that were friends of mine now are reticent to even talk with me. We've been friends for 50 years, and now we can hardly be seen together.
Right. I don't think I'm really guilty, but it was cheaper to pay the fine than it was to try to fight it. It gnaws at you.
Sure.
Because if you think you're right at something, but you admit you're wrong.
Monsanto falsely accused us of violating their patent and a breach of contract. None of it was true. You go into a market and you find a dominant farmer, and if you can ruin them, you scare the rest into falling into line. My family spent $400,000 fighting the battle pre-trial, and we were told it would take another $1 million to take the thing to trial. We settled out of court. The way the system appeared to work to me was Lady Justice had the scales, and you piled cash on the scales. And the one that piled the most cash on the scales and hired the most experts and the ones most willing to tell the biggest lies, that was the winner. That seems to be how our justice system functions now. It's terrible. It's terrible. How can a farmer defend himself against a multinational corporation like Monsanto? I talked to a young man just 3 days ago. They'd been to his farm, and this poor kid, he's just starting out, his fiance was there. I talked to her and tried to, give him the best advice I could, which unfortunately the best advice I can give him is try to get out of this thing with your skin intact. Don't fight them, You've got to roll over and give them what they want, because you can't defend yourself. In the case of Monsanto, their control is so dominant. If you want to be in production agriculture, you're going to be in bed with Monsanto. They own the soybean. They are going to control that product from seed to the supermarket. They are, in effect, gaining control of food.
There has been this revolving door between Monsanto's corporate offices and the various regulatory and judicial bodies that have made the key decisions.
Justice Clarence Thomas was a Monsanto attorney. That wouldn't be such a big deal if it weren't for one court case that really decided this whole seed saving issue. Justice Clarence Thomas wrote the majority opinion in a case that allowed these companies to prevent farmers from saving their own seed.
Monsanto had very close ties to the Bush administration and the Clinton administration.
And this goes to why we haven't had much political debate over this radical change to our food system.
The last 25 years, our government has been dominated by the industries that it was meant to be regulating.
The challenge is sometimes you have people with expertise in industry that may turn out to be really good regulators. It's really about what interests they decide to represent.
You're talking about